So off camera I have put on some sap green with cadmium yellow to the stems which were left white. I've completed the bell so they can be tweaked, and I've made up some sap green with I've put in some of the purple mix to this sap green, and then I added a little bit more ultramarine as well. So I'm now going to define, there's a long light leaf there, so I'm going to define under that with dark, and then just sort of wet underneath it in a sort of fairly random way, and that will make that leaf stand out. And we've got some leaves down here as well, so again we can darken in. This mix could be slightly darker, but we can go over it again, so it's not a problem. But that will begin to bring out these sort of abstract shapes of leaves. So I'm going to go into here. That's going to define this leaf here. This leaf will get some shape on it. And then I'm going to define the top edge of this leaf. And in here as well. So just making sure you do this nice and wet. But you can see that begins to bring out the light areas of leaf, and maybe just a little, just spread that with some water behind the bell, and that begins to define that stem. And then we've got some random darkness in here, so we don't need any detail into this background, but actually if we darken up to the left hand side of these bells, it will make them stand out more because they've been left light, and you can see how by darkening the background they start to flick out. And we're going to bring some darks up into this area. I am running out of colour, just make a little bit more of that. I'll just use sap green with a little bit of ultramarine for this one. No, actually I will put some alizarin. The alizarin just helps it be a little bit warmer. And then we've got some stuff going on here. This can be a little bit random. And then we've got some lines of sort of stems and things going on. Don't have to be definite. We don't really want it to be definite. We just want something and nothing going on in the background to make these stand out. I can use a little bit of my cadmium yellow and sap green mix to sort of make some patchy textures in here. And now I'm coming down this middle area, and again there will be some bits defining here, so just keeping my eye on that little wet bit. But I am going to define in these areas. So we've got the shape of that little yellow flower and the stems there, shape of that little yellow flower there, and that sort of base of the yellow flower, and that will begin to bring out the stems again. You can see them beginning to jump. In here I can be a little bit random, a little bit wet, just so it's patchy. And then over the top here again we just do a little random patchiness. You can do this wet in wet if you choose. Just remember, if you do it wet in wet, you've got to kind of keep an eye on what's going on. I'm going to keep this side of this stem now, and then begin to bring some of these darks in. I'm going to bring in some darker stems and everything later. I've just gone over that stem. A little bit of this coming down, and again running out of colour. Do make sure you make enough colour. Coming down here, that needs some dark into it, so a little bit ultramarine, a little bit of alizarin. Bit too much of everything. And then we're coming down into this area, dark. And that will define this stem. I've still got that bit in there to do. And it will define this leaf. Just be careful, I think I've just lost the leaf. So we'll just randomise that with a little bit of water. And I've still got that little bit to do in the middle. So again, taking up the dark, checking the colours either side of those stems. This area cannot be a different colour to what's behind there and what's behind there, otherwise you get a jump. Just being careful, there's a sort of leaf there, and I've just made that very, very patchy. Up here I was a little bit more with the paler tone, so I'm just filling in behind here, just being careful. And that will make those stems, you can see those stems starting to jump out. I've got some excess, so remember, dab on your tissue, run the tip of the brush through, just gently. Got a small white watermark forming there, that's because of the way I was putting the paint on. That's fine. Main thing is, don't fiddle. So we've now got this to a stage where we've got the start of the background, we've got the start of those stems showing and the leaves, and when that dries we will darken up and form and then tweak. Okay.